Quick disclaimer, if I sound different or weird or my voice breaks at some point, it's because I'm not feeling well. But I had to upload a video this week. Okay. There's no way I'm starting this off without taking a moment to fangirl over the new Fearless Taylor's Version album. Oh my goodness. It's so good and it's so beautiful and so nostalgic. I was worried about how it would play out because we've already heard most of the tracks on the album and the old versions are still available if we want to hear it. But it did really, really well, and she did really, really well. It's very renewed, like it feels new but familiar, which is a very comforting combo. And it feels like a rediscovery. I was only 12 years maybe when it first came out, and I was too young to understand most of the lyrics. I mostly just like the songs for the music, but I can appreciate the songs for the lyrics as well now. And it makes me realize how much I've grown and changed since then. I saw a number of comments about how a whole new generation of people are gonna grow up to these songs, and honestly, this might sound bad, but I'm low-key kinda glad that she couldn't own her masters and that she had to re-record, because she really is an amazing songwriter and singer, and her songs are so timeless and every generation needs to be able to grow up to them. Taylor really is so amazing and inspiring. She's really strong and brave. And it's such a boss move to re-record not one, not two, but 6 albums. And it goes to show how women are still at a disadvantage. That no matter how rich or powerful or success we have, we still have to put up with a lot of shiz. And there's just still so much work to do. And with that, I am going to slowly segue into today's topic, which is feminism. Now, I'm a feminist, I'm a woman, and I would love very much to one day have the same rights as men. In fact, the dream is to one day be able to take my top off in public and have it be as normal as when a guy would do it. Like there's no one gasping out loud or staring at him in shock. You know, the worst people could say is, why does he have his top off? I'm not saying that I'm actually gonna take my top off. I don't know, maybe. I'm just saying that it would be nice to have the option, you know? And who knows, maybe someday we'll be able to walk around naked without it being a big deal like Neanderthals back in the day, and everything will come full circle. Anyway, that's besides the point. I occasionally like to watch a movie or shows. I like reading books, mostly fiction. And I realize there's a recurring feminist trope, especially in the books, where there's always a strong, powerful, slaying female lead with some flaw or defect who magically rises above all that and saves the male lead in the process. And I'm kind of sick of it. It was fun the first few times. The whole women empowerment thing was starting to gain some traction, and so it was relevant to the times. And there were some books and movies that executed it really, really well. But from there on, it just felt unrealistic and annoying, really. Such a book I had the pleasure of reading recently was A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Because there was some hype around it and it did have mostly good reviews. It even has a 4.1 star rating on Goodreads, which was the main reason I decided to purchase it. If you don't know what the book is about, it's essentially a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The protagonist is a girl named Harper who's been overlooked her whole life because she has cerebral palsy until she's magically whisked into another world. So it's a little bit of Wizard of Oz as well, but you know, whatever. This is where she meets Prince Ren, who's been cursed. And I bet you can't guess who's going to be the one that breaks the curse and frees the kingdom. From the very beginning of the book, Harper keeps whining about how she can't break the bloody curse because she's not special. Because she lives a normal, sucky life and she's crippled and been overlooked her whole life, so she can't possibly break a curse, right? And this is all that happens throughout the book. until the end when she decides that none of that matters and goes on to save the day in a matter of few seconds. Look, there's nothing all that wrong with this plot. There are many stories that follow this design of a plot line, but that's the problem. There are so many stories that follow this same design of a plot line. And here's what really gets on my nerves. If you are going to follow the same design, at least have the character work through all of her obstacles. Instead of a 2-page essay about the benefits of feminism, show me through the actions of the character the power she's feeling, that life-altering change. Make me feel what the character feels so that I believe it, so that I can root for her.
You're gonna fight her. The one you really hate.
No one's gonna love you, Tris. You're wrong.
'Cause I will.
You shouldn't be spending Friday night in this funeral home reading textbooks. You should be out with your friends getting into trouble.
I felt it. The thing that you were talking about getting out of my head and just dancing. I literally was like stamping books and it just started happening. I got out of my head and I can dance.
You know what I'm talking about. Don't get me wrong, they were a fun read. It didn't have that shining female empowerment moment that I was looking for. But I can easily forgive this trope. What really sets me off is the trope where they keep making the females choose the wrong guy. Exhibit A, to all the boys I loved before. Jordan Fisher's character, whose name I forgot, was clearly the choice, right? And he saw Lara Jean and admired her since they were little. He even changed his name for her or something like that, didn't he?
And then I met you, and you called me John Ambrose, and said how it was cool that we both went by our first and middle names. I didn't want to correct you, and I liked how we had something in common. So I started telling people to call me John Ambrose.
Exhibit B, the kissing booth. This guy, Marco, helped her win a competition so that she could win money to go to a college. And what did the boyfriend even do for her? Beat up a guy who she later went on to be friends with? What was this movie? Exhibit C, after. Hardin is the most toxic person I have ever seen. He is so unattractively unhinged. I'm not even getting the sexy, emo, bad boy vibes from him. Trevor went out of his way to do things for Tessa. He got her a car for her birthday.
I went down to the dealership, negotiated terms, and you put no money down, and you only pay $150 a month. Vance also agreed to put your auto insurance on company policy, so that's free. This is, of course, if you want to do it, I just like crunching numbers.
Oh my God! And compared to that, Hardin is shit, okay? Honestly, what does Tessa see in him? What happened to the good old days when we had the Hunger Games and Divergent and Legend, The Fault in Our Stars, The Mortal Instruments? Such killer female leads. Yes, most of them were dystopian and yes, they had their flaws, but none of them were half as bad as the sappy, cringeworthy shit we have now. Speaking of which, Netflix just announced that there's gonna be a second movie for Tall Girl. Was it any good the first time around? I can't. I don't. Like, what even? The only thing I'm looking forward to is the new Shadow and Bone series. I read the books, I've seen the cast, I've seen the trailer, and it all looks really, really good. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. And that is the one show that in a long, long time that I feel like is finally gonna meet some of my expectations. I mean, have you seen KAZ Brekker? When I say sexy, emo, bad boy, that is what I'm talking about. Not unhinged Harden. And that was all he was good for as well, getting hard in his pants. I don't know how this turned into a review. Don't forget to be feminist. Be respectful to women and their choices because we are just as capable and strong. Wait, what was her name? Chloe? No. Laura Jean, right. Okay. Oh! Oh! I just wanted some water. Wait, what was I saying? I was worried about how it... Oh my god, I give up. For fuck's sake. Oh my... What?